Welcome to the fourth and final episode of this season of TVGP's Critical Misses. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
We're here to watch 2018's Crazy Rich Asians in the hopes to find something that meets all of our requirements for the season of something a little bit more diverse and a romantic comedy. And hopefully this is the one. cross your fingers. I have not seen this. Have you seen this one?
No. The
Okay.
only thing I've seen, if I'm correct in my thinking, is this the Keanu Reeves cameo
No,
movie?
we watched that one already. That was Always Be My Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. But I think there was a TV show that spun off of this. I know it's based on a book originally. Um, but I have seen very little about this movie overall. I think largely because when did this come out? 2018. Um, I feel like at the time, romantic comedies kind of weren't in vogue as much. Um,
hmm
and I think there was a little bit of like, oh, it's a romantic comedy, whatever. Who really cares about those old dinosaurs? It's like, wait, I do. Love is great. I'm here
I'm
to have a hot take.
I'm also pretty sure this is one of those movies that like came out to nothing and then people started talking
Mm,
and suddenly it kind of exploded.
yeah, true. I wonder if it had a So for anyone that maybe is listening this season as their first one, we really try not to go look at anything about this movie beforehand because I think there's a tendency for the well to get poisoned a little bit of like, oh,
hmm
it was a sleeper hit, or oh, it had controversy, or oh, it had this, that, or the other thing, or it had a $2 million budget and it made $2 bajillion worldwide. Um, I wonder if it had a similar trajectory as My Big Fat Greek Wedding, of this kind of very small budget, very kind of small promotional for the movie, and then have it kind of
hmm
blow up as more people see it and go, ah, dang, this movie's actually pretty good. Um,
Yeah. The
so,
old word of mouth trick, which
right,
shockingly enough still works. Tell your friends about us.
that's right.
Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones are numbers. And I wonder too how much we'll see of this movie kind of treading the same water as My Big Fat Greek Wedding, because that was very
hmm
much like a look into a specific culture and a look into like a specific family, and the ins and outs and the highs and lows and the difficulties. And I wonder how much we're gonna see reflected here because I feel like that is uh, kind of a natural thing to be like, well, you want this movie to be funny. Fish out of water is kind of the easiest thing for you to do. Of like, you do what, and then kind of
hmm
go from there. Hilarity ensues. I'm a screenwriter. I'm really talented. You've seen my films. Um,
Yes.
I feel like the answer to this might be pretty short. Moon, what do you know from osmosis about this movie?
Literally nothing.
Yeah,
My main thought is how important is the rich part of this
yeah.
title?
I,
Like,
I
is it Asians who are crazy rich or
right.
rich Asians who are crazy?
True. Which is the part where a comma would go. Um,
Uh-huh.
true,
And like,
true.
is it going to be like a class distinction thing too, or is it just going to be a culture distinction thing also?
Right.
Like,
Is
I
are is one of the two protagonists crazy rich and the other one isn't, and it's this kind of like,
mhm.
oh, you actually have gold toilets? What am I doing here? What is this?
Mhm.
Okay. That's interesting. Um yeah, this one I'm just like our last movie. I'm really excited to watch this one because I feel like I've heard a little bit about people enjoying it, and I feel like it did have kind of a word of mouth sort of success or something along those lines. But it's one of those movies that people seemed to really like, and I think it did fairly well. But you kind of didn't hear about specifics about it. It wasn't like a big Twitter clip hit at the time, or it's 2018, so Twitter still would have been semi okay. Um, but it wasn't one of those things of like, gosh, you guys just won't stop posting about this. I've seen this entire movie on social media already, but
Hmm.
people did seem to like it overall.
Yeah. This is one that came out, I think, as well before the clip time, where
Yeah.
like YouTube would just feed clips from movies. Like,
Hmm.
there's so many movies that I know the thing for because YouTube has been like, "Hey, here's a clip from this movie."
Here's
I
the
know you were
twist.
watching. I know you were watching the the scene from Fury Road where they chase they're going through the desert and getting attacked by the motorbikes, and that's cool and all, but how
Yeah,
about this spoiler for this
that's
other
right.
movie that you've not seen?
I know you were watching a VTuber's highlight reel. How about this spoiler for a movie that just came out last week? It's like, wait, no, okay.
Uh-huh.
Also, you just spoiled it in the thumbnail too. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys.
Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, I'm very excited about this. I don't. You got anything else to add here? I feel like we've kind of said the little we know already.
Yeah, we don't really know a lot is the problem,
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go fix that
which
and
is also
watch
the
the.
point of the show.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we know, but sometimes we don't. So let's go fix that and let's go watch the film.
Uh-huh.
We are back. We've watched the film. Moon, I just wanna do. Oh god, closing my eyes feels so good. I'm under the weather. I apologize, everyone. I just want to ask a question. For you, what's the vibe check coming out of this movie? How are you feeling at the top here?
I feel like it is a middle of the road movie, to be honest. Kind
Mm-hmm.
of like that wasn't bad. Not blowing my socks off or anything, but very much like that wasn't bad.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that because I came out of this movie having finished it going okay. Like I think it's
It was like a
big.
decent meal.
Yeah, I, I, I think the biggest thing that frustrates me a little bit out of this movie is it feels a little bit unbelievable, but not in the way that you think. Like the unbelievable part is supposed to be, oh my god, these people are richer than rich, and they own
Mhm.
everything around them, and their life, the normality of their life, is ridiculous.
We talk about the comma dilemma
Yeah, yeah, like,
because I
but
think the problem with this movie is the comma could go anywhere and it would be accurate.
yeah, exactly. But my problem is like, how how did she not know that he and his family are stupid rich? Like they are richer beyond rich. And
I mean, I could understand it, especially if you're on literally the other side of the planet and you never do any like extravagant rich people things. Like they're both in
sure,
New York, they're both professors. I'm sure they're just gonna go get coffee from the coffee shop. They go to a bodega or whatever for their groceries. I mean, I don't know if he lives on like Fourth and West or whatever the
right.
apartment complexes are that overlook, Central Square or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Central Square, Central
Central Park,
Park.
yeah.
Um, like I don't know if it's one of those things where she's never been to his place, maybe, or maybe he just
Sure.
has a modicum of a small apartment.
She never asked him like how often do you do laundry, and he's like, "Oh, my people take care of that like every week."
But that's the thing is I don't get the vibe that he has his people do his laundry
That's
over
true.
here. like in America.
That's true.
I
And
very much get the vibe that he's chill and like he does his own stuff.
right. And like part of what I think my frustration stems from in this movie is you get a really good backstory of his mom. That great
Hmm.
sort of opening scene of Michelle Yeoh, who of course kills it in this movie, like in literally anything she's in. Um, you get a really great backstory for her, but you get a pretty good backstory, I think, at the beginning of the main character, Constance Wu's character, who's I think also does a really great job. With her being like teaching game theory and all this other stuff, and then you don't see anything really between her and him at the beginning of the movie. So like you don't get the real like it's Rachel and Nick. I just had to look it up. You don't get anything really between Rachel and Nick at the beginning of the movie other than like them being out in public is a vector for the rumor mill to spread about them going to the wedding.
Yes, Radio 1 Asia, as it's called too, which is a very, very good British joke. If you
Yes.
don't know, for the American listeners, if you don't know what Radio 1 is, it's basically the most popular radio channel in England.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially NPR radio, except it's, co-funded by the government kind of
Right.
thing. Um, and it is the biggest radio station. But I do love the fact that it takes all of about 4 seconds
Mm-hmm.
from them eating dessert to the mother calling, be like, so you bring in your girlfriend?
That's right. That's right. And like so part of the thing that I really like about this movie, I had to pause it at this point to go look up when someone in the text chain says she looks ABC, and I was like, okay, I gotta look this up. I looked up American born Chinese, and I was like, okay,
Yeah, I was gonna say, at a guess, as soon as you said that, as I was at a guess, I was like American-born Chinese
yeah.
would be my assumption, but I don't know.
And
And you get an awful lot of you knows to that,
yeah.
which
And
it seems to be the theme of this season over the theme we originally thought it would be, is
right.
yo,
But I
culture
like
differences,
I
bro.
like that this movie is the I feel like in a positive way is kind of the polar opposite of uh, Greek Wedding, where Greek Wedding did take time out to explain this is what this is why this is happening, even if it was tongue in cheek. It was sort of like this is why the family is big and loud. This is what we're eating. This is my childhood and stuff. And this movie isn't interested in doing any of that. I think to its benefit because it is for um, a different audience than we are, which I think is a good thing. I think we need to see more movies like this that's just like I'm not explaining this. Like this is if you're
Mhm.
not if you don't know what any of this stuff is, like you got Google, man. Um, and I appreciated that the movie didn't take its time to kind of slow down and be like, this is why this is happening. This is what this really means. I think it meant that I was in the dark a little bit sometimes, but that's okay. Like I don't think that's a negative.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, like having them not explain 100% of the stuff. I mean, you said like it is fine by me. It's like, yeah, if I want to know, I will learn as an aside.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to rewind for a second to your point about not knowing that um her boyfriend was super duper rich.
Okay.
Because we have to also bring up potentially the star of the movie, Aquafina as Peaklin, her college roommate, who is also stupid rich, a different kind of rich,
Uh huh.
but still stupid rich.
So Aquafina being in this is interesting because the only thing that I really know her from are a whole string of Disney animated things. So I've never actually seen her as herself in anything. She puts in a pretty good
Yes, you
performance
have.
in Raya and the Last Dragon, which I'm like
Yes, you
the
have.
only person on the planet that actually likes that movie. Um,
She's in Ocean's 8, by the way, dude.
she's in Ocean's 8.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember her in that at all. Well,
a
Okay.
thing that we watched for this show.
Yeah. Clearly, I have to go back, and I remember liking the movie. I just now I got to go back and watch it. Um.
I have seen her in Shang-Chi, and also
Okay.
she steals the show in Shang-Chi as
Yeah.
well, for the record.
I think that her performances are a little goes a long way, and I think this movie knows how to take performances like that and take a like, okay, she's gonna be in this scene for 30 seconds. She's just gonna be who she is, and then we're gonna keep moving on.
Mhm.
I think Ken Jeong is in this movie as well. Who I think if this movie was like 20 years ago would probably fill that role. But he plays a much different role in this movie.
Yes, her dad, ironically enough,
Yes.
Peakman's dad, just to show that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in that side of the family, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah. So like all of those performances, I actually have to say, as much as I came out of this movie feeling a little bit cool on it, I think everybody puts in a really good performance. I think Henry Golding as Nick is probably the weakest of them, but I don't think he has as much room to shine as a lot of the other people do. Um, I think just because of the role, I think. Um, trying to
Yeah,
think.
that
God.
the problem with this movie is there's a who's who of Asian actors in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it is ridiculous the amount of Asian talent there is in this movie. It's absolutely unreal. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I know that face, I know that face, I know that face, I know that face, I know that face.
Yeah. And everybody puts out a really good performance. I think it's easy to look at this and say Michelle Yeoh like sort of steals the show for the majority of the movie, and I think she does a really great job with that kind of like haughty, like everybody's at arm's length sort of performance. I really like
Mhm.
Constance Wu quite a bit as Rachel. I think she does a really great job. I think whoever plays Rachel's mom does a really great job. She's not in the movie a whole lot, but um, I think she delivers her uh, horribly like crippling backstory pretty well. Um,
Mhm.
and I just I think part of my frustration about it is when I'm watching a romantic comedy, I want to see two actors that feel like they have the chemistry. They feel like they have that magnetism. Like you could see that they're best friends when the cameras are off. You know, there's this
You're
simmering kind
talking
of
about Cameron Diaz
electricity.
and Tom Cruise in whatever that movie was called that we watched.
Oh yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it's that sort of thing of like, and I never really felt it from the two of them. Like I never really felt that there was this kind of uh, magnetism to the two of them, and I think that is kind of frustrating. And it's sort of interesting because I think as much as we've kind of whiffed this season for any of these movies being romantic comedies that were
Mhm.
maybe a little bit more diverse. Um, this movie feels, even compared to the last one, feels like the least romantic comedy out of all of them. It feels more like these two back-to-back movies feel very similar. Of like there's some funny stuff here, and I think a lot of the humor of this movie sort of hinges on uh like, oh wow, you live like this, like this is normal, like you used to hide snacks in the paws of this tiger or whatever they were hiding in
Mhm.
the tiger's paws, like
Cigarettes.
cigarettes, that's right. um but like and the drama was really there to a level where I should probably go read this book because I get the impression that the book is probably going to be pretty good. Um, but like so much of it just felt like
It's a very middle of the road story, a
yeah,
tropish kind of story.
yeah,
Like the thing that I like about this movie quite a bit is I think the one-liners are absolutely terrific.
mm-hmm,
Like the overarching story is kind of whatever. Like the lead, the two leads are fine. Like you
sure,
said, there's a few scenes where they have some fantastic chemistry, but majority of the time it's just very whatever. But like the one line has got me every single time. Like Radio 1 Asia is a great one line.
yep,
I think when they get to, I think it's Shanghai Airport, and it's like this airport has like a movie theater and like this kind of stuff, whereas JFK is salmonella and despair is just, it's such a good
well,
line.
there's also
And like,
when they get to the airport too, there's a really good scene. Him just like leaving his luggage behind. He's like, "Okay, let's get on the plane."
oh,
She's like, "No, we need to take the luggage. Like, what are you doing?" He's like, "It's fine. They'll take care of it." It's like, "Oh,
just go with it.
you're turbo rich.
Rich, rich.
Okay, you're
Uh-huh.
all the way rich. I see."
Yeah, like losing the luggage is not an imposition for him kind of situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it was to happen, the servants would be fired.
Yeah, right.
Um, like, also, two more jokes I have to shout out here.
Hmm.
The banana analogy is absolutely fantastic
Uh
by
huh.
Peaklin Aquafana,
Yeah.
where she's explaining to Rachel what's going on. She's like, "No, they see you as a banana.
Hmm.
You're yellow on the outside and white on the inside." It's like
Yep.
that's like a kick to the stomach, and
Yeah.
also slightly racist, if I was to say
Yeah, it
it,
was
and also
horribly blunt.
yeah, and it's just like, okay, you couldn't have got
Yeah.
your point over better if you tried with any other thing.
Hmm.
But I have to give credit where it's due for the International Waters title card, where they're going to the bachelor party,
Hmm.
and the biggest douchebag on the planet is the one who's arranging it.
Oh yeah.
And literally, the title card that appears on the screen is just International Waters, and it's just like, oh God,
So
oh
good.
no.
And like that boat party looks exactly how you thought it would coming from that dude. And you've seen that dude on screen for I don't know 3 minutes total maybe and you're like, "Yep,
Hmm.
yeah, this tracks. This is going to be the worst." I like all of them
Yeah, that's
basically
about
like
right.
we need to get the hell off this boat like immediately. Like, yeah. Mhm.
Yup.
I mean some sort of international incident going on here.
Yeah, I
Um
like. Yeah, like the story is fine. I do like the fact that they don't explain the ring at the end.
right.
Like they just don't explain it. It's like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, whatever. But the fact that the mother passes the family ring down to him to propose to her because she is exactly the same type of person.
Yeah.
And it takes her all of the movie to understand that, yeah, bro, this is you. Like,
Right.
she's you. And
Right.
you're acting like like your mother-in-law. So, maybe, don't be such an a-hole about the whole thing.
Well, and I think the other thing I like too that they don't explain is the whole mahjong scene,
Uh-huh.
with Rachel having the tile that she needs to win, but passing that over to Nick's mom so that she can win. Is like
Uh-huh.
like a sort of like I don't need to win this because I'm gonna come out either way, but also kind of a closing the loop a little bit on her game theory background sort of thing. Um,
Yes.
and I also like that they don't go out of the. They do explain mahjong a little bit, but it's only from the social standpoint and not the like. Okay, there's this many tiles, and we're doing this and we're doing that. And just like, no, man. Like, if you're a 5 hour movie is not going to teach you mahjong. Like, we're just be along for the ride. Um,
Uh-huh.
I do like that the focal point of the movie is what you were talking about there with like breaking the kind of generational trauma cycle. I'm sure if people are mired in more movies of this type that it's the same thing that Mackie and I talk. Mackie, a friend of the show and friend of ours, Mackie and I talk about this a lot with indie games. We're sort of like, when you look at it, every big indie game is about trauma and is about like,
Hmm.
oh, the dark shadow chasing you is just the trauma from your childhood, or this many-eyed serpent is just the mom who abused you when you were a kid. And I'm sure if you were to zoom out a little bit here, I'm sure that a lot of movies like this probably deal with the generational trauma stuff that is so impactful for so many people and groups of people. But I don't watch. That's part of why we do this show. I don't watch that many movies like this. So to me, I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, yeah, we beat generational trauma. We did it. Let's go, guys. So there's a little bit of happiness from me of like, we did it. Yay, we won one. Woo, we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Which
don't
I mean, we kind of saw a little bit of that in the last movie too, with him basically saying to his parents, like, "Yo, why did you bother coming here if you don't want me to be at least partially from here?"
true.
Like, which is my favorite argument, where it's like, if everything should be as it is, why are we here?
Right. Yeah. It's kind of rough because I wish that there was more I had to say about this movie, but so much of it is just this like outside looking in thing of this kind of like believable, unbelievable kind of thing of like, it's just like a normal day for you, and there are so many people on the face of this planet that live like this and have the means and choose to live like this, that it's unbelievable on so many levels. um and
Yeah, especially at this point, if considering we live in late stage capitalism as its biggest problem.
that's what I was just gonna say, like especially here in like the latter half of 2025 makes it harder to watch something like this and just be like, you didn't build this. There's the scene where uh Rachel and uh Aquafina's character pull up to the house in their super sports cars, and the guys with the guns are there, and they pull up to this beautiful house out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, they didn't. That's not a miniature. They didn't build the set
No.
for this movie. That's just some person's house. Like,
Uh-huh.
you could just rent this house to shoot your movie. Like, that's the problem, man. Like, you should have to
Yep.
build a miniature and build two rooms on a soundstage. But no, I'm sure you could find that house on Wikipedia and be like, oh yes, it's
Uh-huh.
this person's house. Um,
And
so
I'm
that makes it.
sure it's yeah. And the funny thing is, we're criticizing capitalism here, but also it's not just capitalism; it's also all of the rest of them. We'll say,
Sure.
because like, let's just say China has problems of its own, and leave it at that, so we don't
Right.
get banned.
Right.
Oh, I don't know. It's yes, people are the crazy rich people. Turns out are just plain crazy.
Yep. Also, one other thing to shout out in this movie is the ridiculousness of the actual wedding by the time you get to the end of the movie, with the bride walking down the aisle as the aisle has water flowing through it. And I was like, yep, yep,
Uh-huh.
that tracks. That's some team of 30 people needed to figure out how to make this work. That tracks. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. All right, any final thoughts
And
here for
it,
go ahead.
it's a beautiful scene. I will say that I do love
Sure.
the lilies, like the water lilies, being passed out by
Mm-hmm.
the flower team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the fact that like a stream happens because of it is just it's a nice little touch. but yeah, also it's like you spent 40 million on this wedding. It's like,
Minimum, yeah.
uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts here for Crazy Rich Asians?
It was a fine movie. Like it's not gonna be one I go to for like the vibes, we'll
The
say.
feel good vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's do ratings here real quick. IMDb 6.9 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has this at a 91% on the tomato meter, 76% on the popcorn meter, and Letterboxd has this at a 3.5 out of 5. I'm probably in more of like the 3.0 out of 5 sort of
Yeah.
realm. It's really well done. It is really well made. Everybody's acting like to the 100% of their capabilities the whole movie. It's just fine, and
Yep.
that's okay. Like, but I feel like I kind of missed a little bit of what makes this movie so special for people, and that's okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
fine with that happening sometimes. So, alrighty,
Yep.
well, thanks for joining us for a questionably successful season of Critical Misses. I think we picked
Yep.
four movies that did not meet our originally intended goal, and that's okay. That's part of the fun of going into a lot of these movies blind. Is sometimes we don't meet our goal, and that's okay. If you want to find out what
It's fine.
the goal is for next season, listen to the patron exclusive Critical Misses production meeting over at e1m1.cash.
The ones that did numbers.
$5 a month tier is the tier that gets you that. It's always a really great episode. We have a lot of fun sitting there and trying to figure out what we're gonna watch for the next season. This one, we actually find out what we're going to potentially be watching for a couple of seasons, especially
Mhm.
uh, potentially what we're watching for one of my favorite seasons, the famous Infamous, at the end of the year, beginning of the year. So go check that out. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next time. Bye.
A boy.